There was recently this big massive debate about, because TikTok's getting banned, everyone's going to lose their career if they had their career on TikTok and they were a content creator exclusively on that platform. And then there was this big scramble for all the short form vertical video creators, which, to be fair, TikTok did popularize it. There was this big rush for them to disperse amongst all the other platforms that had since adopted the vertical video format. It was pretty much just in America, but even people who weren't in America were getting their accounts banned, and people using VPNs, people in Europe who had never even been to America and their devices had never been to America were all getting banned, and apparently the only safe place was Canada for some reason. I feel like in the modern day, Canada has been really like on the global stage for having better this, better that, better everything, but I actually feel like it's not the best country in the world to live in. It's just, for Americans, it's the closest good equivalent. But relating to content, people were talking about how all my stuff is on this platform, all my eggs are in this one basket, what do I do? How do I salvage my career from this? So content repurposing and cross-posting is a strategy I'm very much a big fan of. I focus primarily on my YouTube channel and my website. dibdabdigital.com is my own website. I host it with SiteGround and they're really good, and I have a referral link in the description below if you want it, but you know, that's your choice. I also have a lot of other social media platforms. So for Discord, I'm a really big fan of Discord. I've not really done a huge amount with my DibDab Digital server yet. I have a couple other servers that I've been really active with for other things, but one thing that's really good with Discord is you can use bots to automate pretty much anything. Like, I know bots for paywalling, I know bots for automatically posting content, and it's even great because the YouTube subscription feed has been progressively not alerting people when they get content for a while. It's not a secret or anything, but with Discord I've actually got a bot called Disping, which it is really useful for not only saying when I've posted a new video, which allows you to watch it in Discord or click away to the app if you want, but it also tells people when I'm going live, so that's really useful. But it's not exactly as easy for all the other social media platforms, because Discord is more of an app and a server than actually like a social media per se. It's a bit debatable. I say if you can't access it by your browser, then it's not really a social media personally, but you know, everyone wants an app for everything. But I also have like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok I do. X is debatable. I'm not really a fan of X. I was really great like before Elon bought it. I'm still pretty good at getting like my clients' views on Twitter X, but I just don't like it anymore, and I don't really want to necessarily support the business it's become, so you know, we don't really care about X. And then LinkedIn and all that stuff. So I have a bunch of social media, but I don't really want to spend the time necessarily making sure that those platforms are as maintained as my YouTube and my website. So my structure, what I do is I make my YouTube video first and foremost. This gets the content first, no exceptions really. Then I turn it into a written format that I can then embed the video in, and I post it as a blog post on my website. And then I create my shorts. I've got a video about repurposing long form videos into shorts that you can check out, and I turn them into shorts, and then I post those as reels, as TikToks, as all the relevant short form stuff on the other platforms, but the full length video is only available on YouTube, so I'm using those platforms to then funnel to my YouTube channel. That's like a solid social media strategy that's generally accepted as cross-posting, but it's all still very manual. Even with my software Metricool, I use it to like multi-post and like share via multiple platforms without having to go into the on-platform scheduling tool, and it saves time that way. And you can go into Metricool and you can adapt posts so it's more optimized, and there's slightly different versions for the different platforms, but just doing it like the normal calendar way is still not really efficient. I've known about this for a while, but I haven't really taken the time to do it, but I'm going to show you now a way you can actually automate your social media a lot better. So I'm here, I am in Metricool. If I go back to like November, you'll see that I've got all these individual posts that are scheduled. I've got the same content, but there's a variant for Facebook, for Instagram, for TikTok, and I was consistent with that for the majority of 2024. And then in the new year, I kind of slipped off. I was really quite devastated because I had been consistently posting every 3 days on like every social media platform except for YouTube, where I'd actually done it for every other day at least, because I post a short every other day, and then I have my long form video at least once a week, and then I live like when I want to, basically, which is like semi-frequently, I guess, maybe once a month, maybe less. But then I sort of slipped off around the new year because I just didn't schedule ahead. I didn't batch it far enough. So instead, I was looking into what I always knew to be Autolists. So an Autolist is a list of posts that you create in advance, and then you can edit them as and when you please. You click the social media platforms you want them to go on, and then they are distributed at the regular intervals that you specify without having to schedule each individual one on each individual day. And then you can format them in a way that you like, or you can leave it in the automated way. You can manually build out these Autolists, or what I'm going to show you now is actually how to use an RSS feed. An RSS means really simple syndication, which sounds fake, but you know, tech bros make up words for things sometimes when it's new. An RSS feed is more popularly used when relating to your blog and like news websites, and it tells you when they publish stuff. It's like a subscription feed that you can curate for yourself with all your different favorite publishers. But you can use your RSS feed to automatically populate content from other platforms into Metricool, which you can then distribute amongst all your different social media. So I've got a few that exist here. I do need to actually create my YouTube channel shorts one. So I've done this already and I've sort of half done it, but I'm going to make a new one from scratch so you can see the whole process. So if we go new Autolist, where do I want to publish it? Because it's going to be for my short form vertical videos, I'm going to go Facebook and Instagram because they have reels, LinkedIn because they have short form vertical video format, Google business profile, Pinterest, and TikTok. If you have the free version of Metricool, then you won't have all of these options. LinkedIn won't be available, and then you will also be restricted on the number of posts you can make. But I recently upgraded to the starter package, which allows you to have up to 5 brands, because they also have like DibDab Digital and Debasdo. So I have multiple brands, and I'm really launching Debasdo this year, so I've got some content already scheduled to go out there. So if you want to hear like martial arts drama, go check out that channel. But I have LinkedIn as an option, you won't have LinkedIn as an option, and you will be restricted on the number of posts you can share, which is why I had it every 3 days. It wasn't because I wasn't producing enough content, it was because I didn't have enough posts to schedule out for the month. I think they capped it about 50 posts. And the good thing I've noticed about Autolists as well is when you do it on the normal calendar scheduling for individual platforms, it counts each platform as 1 post. If you do it on the Autolist, then it takes the content piece as 1 post, but it distributes it amongst all the platforms and it's still only 1 post. So that's another reason to consider Autolist if you're trying to get the best bang for your buck. And the great thing about Autolist as well is they will loop. So if you get lost and you sort of have a stalled week and you accidentally forget to shoot something, or you have technical issues and you can't get on camera, you can't edit, you can't make something new, then it will just go back to the start of the list and start resharing older posts, because there's nothing wrong with resharing older content. People might have missed it the first time, you might have gained a new audience since then. There's really no harm in it, except for possibly of YouTube, where they will punish you for duplicate content and you might not be able to get monetized. But I use YouTube as my primary anyway, so I don't schedule through Metricool for YouTube because I want it optimized for YouTube. So if we go new Autolist 1, I'm going to call it YouTube Shorts Example. And then we've got our global presets. We're setting it to repeat. If you don't want it to repeat, you can just not have it repeat. We've got auto publish. Some people will turn off auto publish because for tools like Instagram and TikTok, where you can add stickers so you can like hyperlink over stuff, it will just notify you that the post is ready to go, and you click on it and it'll send you to the app with the preloaded information, which you can then add to and customize, and then you can press publish yourself. But because I'm doing this purely to make my lesser social medias more automated, I'm not going to bother doing that. So you can time how often you want it to go out. If we just say this one time here on Sunday and Thursday, and then you can add another one for a different time of day for Tuesday and Saturday, for example, and then it'll work down the list. Now, there are different ways you can add content to your auto list. You can just make one from scratch. You can generate one with AI, which, you know, I'm never going to support it, but you can. You can add them from a list of content that you've already had sent to you, maybe from a digital marketing or content creation agency that you have doing work for you, or maybe you had previous content from a previous account that you downloaded and then the account was made inaccessible through whatever means, and you want to just upload your old stuff to a new channel that you can access. But for automation, the one we're going for is an RSS feed. This automatically will notify Metricool when something new is uploaded and add it to the list. So we're doing this for YouTube. So YouTube has a very specific way of getting RSS feeds. If you want to get an RSS feed for your website, for your own blog content, then I mentioned how to do that in a previous video I made on Sitemap, so I'll link that as well. Now for YouTube, there is a specific structure where you actually can get your RSS feed without having to dig around in all the hard code. So you get this here, https youtube.com/feeds/videos.xml?channel ID equals, and I'm going to post that there. So to get your YouTube channel ID, there are a couple ways. If you go onto YouTube, you click here on your profile picture, you go into settings, you go into advanced settings, and here's your channel ID, which you can just copy. But a faster way, if you don't want to do that, is actually if you just go into your YouTube channel. Before YouTube introduced handles where it was youtube.com/@dibdabdigital, they actually, before you got to 100 subscribers, you just had a normal URL, and it's actually this long part here of your URL that is your channel ID. It goes away when you click here on your videos tab and then click back, but before that you actually had a channel ID. And we have channel ID equals, and then paste your channel ID, search, and it has found my YouTube's RSS feed. These are all the previews that we're looking at. This is one of the latest videos. It's going to display how it would show on all the different relevant platforms, although it's not exact. Like, it doesn't really do a very accurate mock-up of how it'll look on TikTok, for example. It doesn't do that landscape notion thing. It says it's estimating the best way possible. It's not accurate, so don't worry about it. Like, it says the video is not even available on desktop, but that's not true. You can actually set the max number of characters that it will display before it cuts off, so you can choose the length of your post if you want to, but it will also be capped by the number of characters that the platform allows. Like, Pinterest only allows 500 characters, if I recall properly. You say 300 characters. The prefix appears before the stuff that the RSS feed provides, and then the suffix shows after the stuff the RSS feed provides. This will take line spacing into account as well, so if you want there to be a gap, make sure you actually put the enter lines in. If we say see the full version on YouTube, then that prompts everyone to go and look at our YouTube channel later. Let's do a couple emojis, because why not? You can interpret emojis. We like emojis in this house. For shorts specifically, I don't actually want anything but what I've already written to be in there, so I'm just going to leave the prefix as is. But for my blog posts, I do actually edit the prefix a bit. Add previous 15 posts. That just means like the stuff that it can find previously. You would add new posts at the beginning of the auto list if you wanted the newer stuff to show up when it recycles first. So if you want it to add chronologically, then you would uncheck that so you can have the new content just following on the end. If you're creating stuff faster than your RSS feed and your auto list can spit it out, then it won't really effectively loop content. It only loops when you run out of new stuff, and it'll show it in chronological order otherwise. You can actually see it in the media viewer as well if you want to see how it looks. That's all I need for now, so we're going to save this. It takes a second to populate. Now, the thing you got to be careful with RSS feeds for YouTube. So you'll notice it just had the channel ID, and the channel ID does not mean your video tab, your live tab, your shorts tab. It means all the videos. So if this is my shorts auto list, I've got to go through now and I'll manually delete every long form video that comes with it. Also, it's not necessarily going to pick up absolutely everything. So for my shorts, I am going to just purge this list, and then I will have to come in and add them all later, which I'm not really looking forward to, but it's just something I accept because, like, for shorts at least, it's easy. I can copy paste the short caption and we're done. Now, if we go back up here, now that we have the media populated, you'll see all the presets. So what do we want it to show us? We don't want it to be a post. We want it to be a reel. Instagram, we want it to be a reel. Show reel on feed. Yes, we want that. This is going to be a post, although we might exclude Google My Business later, depending. Pinterest, we need to pick a board. So it's going to be the Digital YouTube channel. Apply the new pin format. LinkedIn. Show link preview. TikTok, we're not adding a random music, we're not doing commercial content, allow people to stitch, do out loud comments. Now you'll notice some problems of the errors have shown up. Real images are not supported. What are you talking about? It's not an image, it's a short. Except it's not added the whole video. Now, Metricool actually has functionality when you schedule through the normal calendar to take media from a URL. It's not automatically taking the URL from that for some reason. We even actually have the URL available here, but it's not used the URL to get the video. So you will have to actually manually go in and upload the video to the auto list. I'm sure this might seem like it's actually not that easy and not that automated, but it's setting it up in a way where it will post automatically, it will post quicker, it will distribute it better. If you ever want to post something that's outside of the means of the auto list, you want like it to have a longer caption and Pinterest is restricting it because you want it on that format, then that's fine. You can go into your calendar and you can still make normal posts and you can add to it. But the purpose of the auto list for me specifically is largely so your profiles never go dead if your work gets ahead of you and you need to focus your energy on something more immediate in your business. I'll just go through and show you some other auto lists I have right now. I've got my blog posts where this uses an RSS feed from my website, and it's really, really efficient. I go in and I take the meta description from my SEO options on my WordPress website, and I put that in as the preview. And then the only thing I need to change is the dimensions of the featured photo, and then I can swap that out. But then this is pretty much automatically all set up to go. And this is really effective because then it drives traffic to my website that's not through organic search, because the majority of my traffic on my website goes through organic search, and I would like more eyes on my website from social media. And this has been going out. And you'll see actually, if I go into my normal calendar, you can see since they've been published that they actually have the individual pieces of content. But then if you go forward, you'll see it just says Autolist. And one thing that is actually really useful is if you are doing an RSS feed from your website, products in terms of web design are actually considered a form of post. So even if you have like blog posts, then you also have a shop, then I'm creating two separate auto lists for my shop and for my blog posts. So I am going to have to go through each one and delete the inverse from the auto list, but then I'm pretty much constantly promoting my stuff without having to worry about if I am actively making a post selling something today. And then I can go in there and I can add more media to the galleries. So if you create more content for your product over time, like right now I just have a product image for a lot of my products, especially the digital services, I only have one image. But then if I want to start adding more videos to it, then that's easily supported within your auto list and you can just let it cycle through again. So there's loads of ways that this can be beneficial to you. I hope this tutorial has been helpful. I've been a bit scatterbrained today, so I hope you're able to follow it. By the way, do you like my high pigtails? Because I've done pigtails in the past for videos and I tend to like root them down here, but I wanted to go higher today because it was fun and I think it's kind of cute, even though like I don't care what other people's opinions are, but I do want to know them so I can react. So if you enjoyed that, please give me a subscribe. Check me out on all my other platforms, because although I am now going to be automating it, I do also post stuff that is unique and doesn't go onto my YouTube channel because YouTube doesn't really do well for written formats. My community posts almost tend to never get viewed on here. So if you want to see some more text-based stuff, go check out my other platforms or my website. You could subscribe to the email list if you want to get fancy. I am big on content repurposing. You pick where you want to see me and I will see you there. Goodbye, but please subscribe. Thank you.